Okay, do we have any feedback? Sounds good. Should I do video? So
That's what the doing so we can all actually do the speech. So it's the morning.
okay, cool.
Also interest. But
It can't see me. Maybe we can put it down a little bit.
I see. I think you think
I'm not tall enough.
yeah, I can lower it.
Did you want to put your shot and watch? Get started in just a couple minutes. I lost this energy. So
We're like, well, are
here.
you
Okay, and
points? Yeah, no, it's good. You've got boundaries of something. Essence or tastes. How do you go? And like a means for me and nothing. Overshot that chair up and slowly. I think you're going to steal people will be suspect. Yeah. Yes. It's not different about them. If I'm going to minimize that, I would have stuff. So you can be like, you know, like that's not really fast if you do spread it with the angel, you know, put the angel and yeah, all the stars. You know,
probably just leave it up because you're not just one presenting.
some things are frustrating that you see me, but for me, oh yeah. Always been up. Like someone
I'm actually gonna end the slideshow real quick to see if I can answer why it's not
that's fine. Yeah.
Zoom.
Come. That's what I use that. Or something. I think I want to be which way. Yeah, you're probably
Where's the present?
comparing the see. Yeah, it starts today.
Oh, share.
Jesus, that's a good. This is let's see. This look like you look at like you know, get also the salt off. And then you have it see we saw the anything.
Screen sharing.
I'm going. Yeah, sweet. Something important. It's just fantastic for them. And you're so it's it. Myself, sent the request to come out and he says, I registered comment. Well, when I was you continue.
Alright, it is 7:02, so we'll just get started. Welcome everybody to the Glendale Neighborhood Council our monthly public meeting. My name is Jennifer Madrigal. I'm currently the vice chair. And today we have a special meeting because we are going to be holding elections for all of these positions, chair, vice chair, master secretary. And we need to make sure that we have all of our at-large board members also on our board. So we'll be doing that. right after first a presentation. And I'm sorry.
You're good. Jason Olson.
Jason Olson, the Salt Lake City School District is going to be giving some construction update. So go ahead and take it away.
Thank you. First of all, thank you very much for giving us a few minutes just to update about what's going on here in your neighborhood with our schools. If any of you have been by Glendale Middle School, you've probably noticed the construction fences and everything else going on. Before I start, I want to recognize a couple other people who are here from the district. First of all, we have our superintendent, Dr. Elizabeth Grant, is here with us. And also have James Yapius, who is the, let's see if I get this right, Director of the Foundation and Executive Director of Development for the district. Something like that. Good. Well, my name is Jason Olson. I'm the Public Information Officer. I work in the Communications Office for the district. And like I said, thank you for allowing us a few minutes here. So hopefully you've heard that we passed a bond back in 2024 to do several projects. One of those projects is rebuilding both West High School, sorry about that, rebuilding West High School and Highland High School. So how does it affect this neighborhood right here? Well, unfortunately, as we rebuild those schools, we're going to lose the athletic fields. We're going to have to move those. And the fact that at West High School, they're actually be building on the opposite side of the street, on the side that the Capitol building is on up that hill. And so the soccer fields, the baseball fields, the softball fields are already gone. They have been leveled. They're getting ready to start construction here pretty soon on that new school. And so we had to go out and look. And our auxiliary services department went out and looked at several options. Where do we help? Where do we hold these practices? Where do we hold these events? We looked at partnering with the city. We looked at, maybe scheduling, so we can fit all on one school, but with two schools being rebuilt at the same time, that became really, really complicated. And so one of the things we did is look at the schools we already own and what facilities they had, and can we make those work? And that seemed to be our most cost effective and our easiest way to house these high school teams as their schools are rebuilt. And so as we looked at this space, we needed a large space for the track and field events at West High School, also soccer and lacrosse, and we found the track at Glendale. Now, this track and field construction has been going on for quite a while. This photo was actually taken this morning. So it'll show you what we have here. We have the soccer field, which is complete. They pulled the AstroTurf for that field a couple of weeks ago, and it's been groomed and stitched and filled in, and everything is ready. And so the soccer goals will be delivered and installed in a couple of weeks. But when it comes to scheduling this field, that's what we have to figure out. Because Glendale needs to use the field, West High needs to use the field. During the rebuild, West High and their athletic teams will have priority in scheduling. We've worked with Glendale Middle School, we've worked with Mountain View, they know this. It will be an intricate process as we work those calendars together. But West High and their teams for practices, for games, will have priority in scheduling. Public access will be available, just not right now during construction. We've had some problems with people getting on the field and on the track during construction. So we ask, please, that you don't do that. But actually, field and track starts practicing very, very soon, and they start competing fairly soon as well. Of course, during those times, we will allow spectators to come on and cheer for their teams and do whatever else. And we actually expect this entire complex to be done late April sometime. So hopefully everything's going well. During this time, we're bringing in a temporary shelter So it's kind of like one of those big tents that you see from Diamond Rentals that they have for things. So in case weather gets bad, there's a place for the weather. They're also bringing in some of our what they call our restroom trailer. They're not quite porta potties. They're a step up from that, where they're up on a trailer, and everybody will have access to those. For the more permanent solution to those issues, we're actually building a new building on the track and field space. You can kind of see it. I'll point it out here. If you see right up here, the foundation walls are starting to build for this building. That will include storage. It will include restrooms that will be available to the public when the public can access the field, and will also include changing and locker rooms for the high school students. Now, the locker rooms, the storage are not for public access, but they will be used by the schools. Like I said, those foundation walls are being poured right now. They expect the new floor for this to be poured sometime second week of February. And then hopefully, like I said, everything done by late April. The other thing we've heard about from this community that's very important is lighting for these fields. And they run the conduit, they run the wiring. We are going to have lighting for these fields. These lights are especially designed, they have shielding on the back of them, and they can be aimed so we don't, put excess light into the neighboring yards. But those should be going in sometimes at mid-March, and that will be a great addition to the community and to the field itself. Now, before I go on for the next little part, James Yalpius from our foundation wanted to say a few things as well.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Once again, thank you for the opportunity for us to be able to come in here. Love the Glendale community. I was a counselor many years ago at Glendale Middle School. Eventually, I was at East and Northwest as well, and Benyon Elementary. But what's amazing about the field, we receive feedback from the community, the Somali community, refugee community, even some of the neighbor. We walked around the streets and tried to get as many parents to give us some feedback. Jason just barely mentioned about the community input. Lighting was one of the areas that they wanted. So when West High School and Highland or West High School stops using the field in a couple of years, maybe 3 or 4 years, when the build of West High School is complete, we want the community to be able to use it all the time. And our focus is, bottom line is the kids, the students that live in this community, and we want to empower them to participate and get involved into sports and activities. We already have seen our families walking around the track in the past. Coach Ron McBride helped us quite a bit. He actually brought in about $600,000 into the community to put the first track. And then we saw so many families, young families and grandparents walking around the track. And it's something that they hadn't seen in a long time, but this came through the efforts of the community, Coach Ron McBride, and most definitely the feedback we received from the refugee community and neighbors around this area. So in short, the Salt Lake Education Foundation right now, we are actively looking and doing a campaign to raise $600,000 to contribute to this effort, and we have several potential donors, and we're excited for that. And then we will have an opportunity also at Glendale CLC Community Learning Center, where we'll invite the community. We want to basically have your input, be a part of that, and then also bottom line is make sure that we hear you and we understand what your needs are as well. And so we're excited for that opportunity. So the foundation right now, we're doing a capital campaign of 600,000. There is a bond, but that only can go so far. But and as far as our board of directors for the foundation, they are fully committed to this effort. And certainly Coach Ron McBride, former University of Utah football coach. So Once again, Jason, thank you for giving me a few minutes and we'll go from there. So,
James has done a great job of reaching out to those who live right around and also to the community here. So thank you, James, for that. Now I'm going to go back. The photos you're about to see are not from today. In fact, they're quite old. They're from Google Maps. So there you go.
oh,
But we want just very last one to give you a little bit, kind of so you can picture this from an aerial view. So this is the old track. The new track is laid in. In fact, the new track eventually will be colored red, but there are some things we can't do until those overnight temperatures hit 50 degrees. It's one of those things. So, but you'll see here, the dark red is that new storage room, locker room / restroom that I talked about. The yellow are bleachers for visitors to watch the competitions. Those bleachers are already on site. They just haven't been placed in this location yet. That should happen over the next few weeks. And then the light blue right here is where the temporary shelter and the temporary restrooms will be, just so you get an overview. The other part you may see is dark, trying to see what it says on my screen. Okay, it shows up well. There's a pop-up window on here. This school, this is Mountain View Elementary. So Glendale's right down here. This is Mountain View Elementary. There are a couple track and field events that don't work on artificial turf, and they are the javelin throw and the discus throw. And so we are going to set up safety netting and fencing right on the Mountain View Elementary playground to house those two specific sports. I don't think they'll be as used as much as the track and field, but when there is a competition, these two areas will be used as well. And like I said, this is all of this should be done by late April, but then it will be in use for those schools until we anticipate 2032. That's the time we expect West High to be completely done. After that, it goes back to the normal use you're used to, where Glendale will use it. It will be available afternoons and everything for public access if the school's not using it at the time. And so, just to keep up to date on the things that we're doing and what's working, this is our website, partial part of our website. If you go to www.slcschools.org and you scroll down, you'll see this one highlighted in red that says don't miss a construction or bond update. Click on that, and that's where all of our updates will be on our website. Our website can also be translated. You can kind of barely see it down here. It started to appear in that left corner. There will be a click down there where you can click on it and choose the language you wish to read it in. So you don't have to speak English, hopefully, to understand the information. And last thing for me is, if you have a question, if you see something, you want to know what's going on, how do you reach us? Both of these emails right here come to my personal email inbox. And so you are welcome to use those at any time. It should be fairly easy. It's just my first name and last name at slcschools.org. But the other one should be easy to remember. It's questions@slcschools.org. So before we're done with our presentation, I'd like to bring up Dr. Elizabeth Grant, our superintendent.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you very much for giving us a couple of minutes. We're excited about the Glendale project there at Glendale Middle School, but I wanted to name another one. If you remember, a couple of years ago, with the declining enrollment, we closed Riley Elementary School as a functioning elementary school. Last year, the board decided to make that school a career and technical education center, an advanced career and technical education center. And right now, we've just had some architects look at that. And we're gonna be rebuilding that school into a high school career and technical education center where we'll house all of our advanced technical and education training for students. We were just up at the Capitol showing off our students who are attending fire science classes. They're training to be firefighters. Some of them have already started working, one with Murray Fire Department, one with Salt Lake City Fire Department, some with the Wildlands Fire departments. And we have Charlotte Fife Jefferson, your board member here, whose husband works in the Salt Lake City Fire Department. And so it's fun to see some kids having a chance at that kind of career pathway. The goal of all of this, and my goal as superintendent, is to build opportunity for our kids and to build pathways for them in career exploration and actual career pathways. Some of the kids we were talking to tonight, they're getting their EMT certificates, they're working for Gold Cross. Some of them are interested in medical fields, so they're getting their EMT, their certified nursing assistant, and then after high school, they can go on to something else. We'll have in this new center a robotics program, a robust construction program, a culinary program, a air taxi program. We'll have the health sciences. We'll have rooms that look like hospital rooms that students can learn in as they're getting their medical assisting certificate or their CNA, their EMT certificates. We're going to build welding and automotive. Thank you, welding. Automotive will stay in the high schools where it is right now, but our welding program we're excited about. We think it's the best in the state for high schools. One of the architects that's rebuilding West High School was telling me that he was a welder for 5 years and he put himself through architecture school. Wow. So kids can graduate from high school and earn $60,000 to $70,000 a year being a welder. That's just kind of life-changing for some students who then have choices about going on or they continue in that career. So that's the kind of thing reason I mentioned that to you now is that we're just in this development phase now. We need to raise a great deal of money to make all this happen. So it'll be a little while before between that vision and hearing from you how we can make that place most valuable. We are able to create a that block your families. One of the things I've so can we put some adult training program in that center so that the public work it'll file live nearby. Right. pole barns going. They got use public lands. A little bit. In fact, we have. Paid work experience.